have a question for you, Benjamin.
I have an answer for you, Matt.
Did you protect Anthony Simons?
No, I didn't.
So I'm going to go with Anthony Simons.
We're doing a mock NBA expansion draft. With my first pick, I'm going to take Mitchell Robinson.
Let me get my face of the franchise.
Damn. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Essentially Sports Bucket Talk. My name is Ben Pfeiffer. I'm joined by my great co-host, Matt Issa, as always. And we have a very exciting episode today. We're doing a mock NBA expansion draft, which I'm very excited about. Well, let's see if Matt can continue his heater into this expansion draft. And we're just going to be using the NBA's expansion draft rules. And the rules are pretty simple. They are as follows. Each team protects up to 8 players, which we did separately, so we'll see if we protected the same players. And then I believe we can draft one player from each NBA team. So Matt and I can both draft one Thunder, one Celtic, etc., etc., etc. Obviously, contract values are factored in here.
Unrestricted free agents can't be protected or drafted, correct?
Yes, unrestricted free agents cannot be protected or drafted, so they're just kind of not factoring in at all to this conversation, which I guess makes sense.
We're going into the next season, right? So the 27-28 season. So that's going to make some players unrestricted free agents that you're like, wait a second, he's on a contract. Well, not yet in next summer. It's not great. Like a lot of these players that are going to be available, it's not great. It doesn't really make for much of a team.
I was going to ask you, what do you think of just the general pool? Because there are some players, but it's not. I don't think either of these teams are going to be winning very many games in year one.
Well, okay, so I have a question for you. Very specific question. Did you protect Paul George?
That's so funny. I was literally going back and forth. I ended up yes, but I could see both. I was trying to do what I think would happen, and I think the Celtics still in a window trying to win would probably keep him, but also I could easily see a world where they're like trying to get. I mean, again, leaving him unprotected is no guarantee that he's going to get drafted, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing also that's interesting to me is I feel like I was operating in the assumption that like even these like negative value contracts for like these star players, it just would be such a bad look from a PR perspective to let these guys just go 100%. Right without getting anything, without trying to get anything for them, right? And you're making your team worse by losing Paul George, right? So yeah, it was very interesting.
I do have some like decently paid players on this that are available that I may or may not take. But yeah, Paul George, I mean, again, and I think, before we hop into this, teams like the Celtics or OKC or whatever who have just tons of viable depth are going to get screwed the most by something like this, right? They're just, they can't protect all of the players they want to keep. And there are some teams where, like, literally they had nobody to leave unprotected. So, anyways.
Do you have any general philosophy for this before we...
General philosophy... I mean, I'm just going to try to build, a good synergistic team. I'm definitely looking for, young players. I'm not going to tell you my strategy.
I mean, because it's an interesting exercise because you're literally building a team from scratch. So, like, you have to think of, like, I feel like you have to think a little bit about the economic thought of it. Like, you need guys who are marketable, right? You want young players, but you also don't want to, just lose every game you play. You need a team that makes sense, right? You need creators, you need shooters, you need defenders, you need rim protection, right? So it was super interesting that way.
The WNBA has had 3 expansion teams over the last couple of years. They're going to have more. I was definitely thinking about like a team like Golden State Valkyries who were like playoffs in year 1 after expansion, contender in year 2. Team like the Portland Fire this year, their first team, they're frisky. They play like a distinct style, even if they're not very good. Like they press all the time. They have a crazy high volume, pick and roll point guard. They're not, a great team, but they have a distinct style. I think that's definitely part of what I want to go for as well. Without further ado, are we ready to get into this, Matt?
Oh yeah, I'm by the way, I'm Vegas. By process of elimination, I get to be Vegas. Ben,
that is true.
Ben is more. I feel like he would just look better in a Supersonics jersey, so I gave it to him gracefully.
Yeah, I could see you in an insert Vegas X team jersey. Speaking of building an identity and just like having a way to play, I think, if you'll allow it, with my first pick, I'm going to take Mitchell Robinson. Did you have him unprotected?
I can't believe you picked Mitchell Robinson. I thought I was going to get away with that. I did have him unprotected. I just felt like the Celtics would probably value like those wings on good contracts more. Hugo Gonzalez, Baylor Shireman, Jordan Walsh I protected. So yeah, I feel like they'd value that more. He's got injury
I
risk to him,
fully agree.
and he's getting paid a little bit more, and he just doesn't
Yeah,
mean as much to the structural integrity of that team, I guess, to be
exactly.
getting paid that much. So
Like chose like when with protections, I generally like prioritized homegrown players for most teams.
mhm.
Like I try to think about their investments and like even if Mitch is going to be more important, maybe like I think they just prefer to keep like Hugo Gonzalez, like you said, Jordan Walsh, who they've been developing for so long, like Sam Hauser, who's been such a key
Mhm.
piece and they drafted. But yeah, Mitch, I mean, I think probably the best player that I have in the unprotected pool. Obviously has his flaws, hence why he's here, like the free throw stuff, the minutes, the injuries, but like an elite top 30 per minute defender, if not better, generationally dominant on the glass, good lob threat, and I think a good starting point to like start building my team around, getting guys who are good with Mitchell Robinson can amplify him, and just see what they can do. So I'm very happy to bring Mitchell Robinson into the green and yellow.
Okay. Okay.
All right, Matt, not to
So
put you on the spot really quickly before your second team. What's your Vegas team's name?
the Vegas Volcanoes.
Second pick, the Vegas Volcanoes. Who do you got, Matt?
Give me Marcus Smart.
Nice one. I also had him unprotected.
Mhm. Let me
Marcus
see
Smart to
who I was
to
debating with.
yeah.
Who did I protect for Houston? Let me just read it out loud. See if we were Katie, Shengun, Smith, Jabari Smith, Tari Eason, Reed Shepard, Steven Adams, and Thompson. And then I protected Bruce Thornton over him. I figured they'd want to protect the guy who's 10 years younger, right?
Yeah, we have all the same guys. Yeah. Yeah, I mean Marcus Smart makes sense, like you said, extreme culture guy,
Hmm.
doesn't cost that much money. All things considered, like Mitch is probably making a little bit more money than him at this point, even though it's short-term deal, so it's not going to
Three and
like
D wing ish player, can guard multiple positions, offensively fills a lot of roles. Really, really underrated passer. Can run some pick and roll. I feel good about that.
I like it. I like it. I think I'm gonna go with the second guy on my board who I'm happy to get here, and that is Scotty Pippen Jr. of the Memphis Grizzlies. Who I feel, if I am Mr. GM of Seattle, is like one of the most undervalued players in the league, who is
Hmm.
easy to get squeezed out just because there's so many guards in Memphis. But I looked at this Pippen, his like offensive load, because I figured I need somebody to dribble. I need
Hmm.
some. They're just not going to be great creators. It's either going to be like unproven guys here, since offensive half court creation is so valuable and hard to find. Our options are going to be limited to like unproven players, young players, or like flawed big contract guys who I'm probably not crazy interested in. Scottie Pippen though, highest offensive load last season, at least in a very small sample of the guys who I had. He's always getting a ton of deflection, just like a really useful like two-way point guard who I think him and Mitchell Robinson formed the beginning of like a really fierce defensive identity. Pippen, he's isn't necessarily like a switching multiple positions defender, but he's so quick around screens. He's got great hands. He's a great passer. He can get downhill. He's he's been a passable shooter. This is like a lot of really good things that I like, and not necessarily a star, but who knows? Maybe he breaks out and is like a sub all-star level player in our wonderful system. But yeah, I love SPJ.
So you think the Grizzlies? Because I was between Scottie Pippen Jr. and Cam Spencer. You think they would keep Cam Spencer before Scottie Pippen Jr.?
I do. I think Cam Spencer is like a better asset and a better player, and I would take Cam Spencer if I had him available.
Okay.
But yeah, I think yeah. I did have Scottie Pippen unprotected, but I wouldn't mind. Like if you really argue that they'd keep him, I guess I don't know. I just think they have so many guys that I figured I could.
I just figured that Scottie Pippen Jr. They probably prefer like that athleticism, on ball defense over Cam Spencer. But I definitely respect. I was between the two of them. I'm moving on here to my second pick.
So
I'm
we'll
gonna go
allow it.
with yeah, we're allowing it for sure. This one might be interesting to you. Santi Aldama of the
I
Dallas
like
Mavericks.
it. I
Do you think
like
they
it.
protect him or no?
Nope, I had him unprotected as well.
Okay, good. Yeah, I just think they have too many assets. I don't think he's that high in the hierarchy compared to a lot of the other youngsters. And one thing I was doing here was like a slot, especially with a lot of the rookies drafted in this draft, I was protecting automatically because I'm assuming, front office regime stays constant and they're going to want to take the bet on their guy. But
I have
yeah,
a couple
Santi Aldama.
rookies. I have a couple rookies, but not that many, like you
I
said.
have one. For sure off the top of my head. I can't remember if I have some other ones, but we might have the same rookie, honestly. But anyways, back to this guy, Santi Aldama thing. Former Memphis Grizzly, by the way. They really know how to draft him. But he's so versatile on both sides of the ball. Defensively, he gives you a lot of secondary rim protection at the 4 spot, and offensively, he's good enough to play the 4 spot. Right? You're not feeling like, man, my spacing's really gunky or anything when he's on the floor with a big man because he can shoot it so well. He's a willing shooter, quick trigger, burgeoning drive game. I think he's got a very underrated drive game. He's really slithery and kind of unorthodox with his body. He could work on the touch a little bit, finishing around the rim, but no, I really like him. Versatile chess piece and makes it really easy to put like a classical 5 in the starting lineup. And then if I want to play small ball, I can play Santi at the 5.
Yeah, that's a good one. I was definitely targeting him at some point to pair with Mitchell Robinson, so I like it. Yeah, I think Santi's really good. I think he's been generally undervalued for a lot of his career, and I'm pretty cool with it. But with Seattle's third pick, I'm gonna take a rookie here. Let's see. Do you have Bennett Sturtz unprotected?
I was debating. So I do have him unprotected, actually. Yes, I do have him unprotected, but he wasn't the first Thunder player that I would have taken that was unprotected.
Oh, I have a couple Thunder players unprotected, and there's a couple that I could choose from, but I just think Sturtz is. I mean, I'm very high on Sturtz as a prospect. I'd love to see him as like the centerpiece of an expansion team in some way, and we've got like a little 2-guard kind of setup here where Sturtz isn't that athletic. He's not a spectacular defender on or off the ball. Him and Scotty Pippen Jr. both have great hands, and I think just having a guy like Mitchell Robinson, like Sturtz only played with like 6'7", 6'8" centers at max in college. Like he is not have any experience really playing with these dynamic vertical spacing lob threats, despite being an awesome playmaker. I rate him as a shot maker extremely highly. I think he has potential to be like an offensive engine of a bad D. To be so like not in like a mean way or anything, but like he's talented enough to like raise the floor of a bad team. I think even if it's not like his ideal role. Like you said, there's quite a few other Thunder players that I thought would have been worth picking, but I think Sturtz is such a stud. I think he, Scotty, and Mitchell Robinson, like you got two guys who can shoot. I mean, Scotty's a solid shooter. Sturtz is like a legit like nuclear shooter around Mitchell Robinson, who just gobbles up everything on the glass.
Yeah, so this is where the strategy element of this comes in, right? Because Ben can only select one player from each team, but I can still select one player from the Thunder. So now I'm going to take that Thunder player who probably would be getting selected super early in something like this, and I'm probably just going to make him my last pick because, that's the beauty of the rules and exploiting the rules like we always do in professional sports. Let me have Luke Cornette from the San Antonio Spurs. Did you protect him, or did you figure
not
with
protect him?
Okay.
I agree. I also have him unprotected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I figured with the drafting of Jaden Quaintance, did I say it right? And Tyrus Reed is just kind of like a signal that, hey, like the Spurs, like you've been a really good backup for us, but we probably need to upgrade that position because we have title aspirations. But when it comes to being an expansion team, like Luke Cornette is probably still a top 30, 35 center in the association.
Yeah.
So, and he's super reliable. That's the only reason I had him higher than Mitch Robinson on my board, just because I can trust that he can be my starting center, play 30 minutes a night, 70 times a year.
All right, so I just Googled this to double check, and I think I may actually be wrong. And each team can only lose one player.
Darn.
So should we continue?
No, we can. We haven't broken any of the rules yet. So let's just okay.
Yeah. Well, who is the Thunder player you were going to take? Because unfortunately, they're not able to be taken, I guess.
I was going to take Jalen Williams.
Yeah, I thought about that. I also had Sorber and Topic unprotected.
Yeah. I just haven't seen enough from either one of them with how good that team is and like how many available options there are. Like, I just feel like it wouldn't be worth taking a flyer.
With my fourth pick, there, like you said, not a lot of like centers. There also, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Not a ton of like really great wings on the board either. A lot of wings I'm like not crazy interested in, but I think I have to start getting them at some point. So I'm going to take my favorite unprotected wing, and that would be Justin Champagny of the Washington Wizards, brother of Julian Champagny, of course, who everyone knows for his really impressive performance with the Spurs in the finals this year. And his brother, Justin, has some similarities, not as lethal as an outside shooter, I'd say, but still, a pretty high volume, solid efficiency shooter at times. This season, he wasn't particularly efficient, around 32%, 38.3% last year. Just does a lot of things pretty solidly that I think I can bank on. Like, he's an all right cutter. He can, attack off the catch a little bit. He's a pretty solid defensive rebounder and offensive rebounder. His offensive rebounding was really solid. So he just does role playery, wingy things that I think could be hard to find in a draft like this.
Okay, so with that, the Boston Celtics, Washington Wizards, Dallas Mavericks, Houston Rockets, Memphis Grizzlies, OKC Thunder, and San Antonio Spurs are off the board. So that's 7 of the 30 teams. By the way, I was between Champagny and Bob Carrington for who I would protect and who I would unprotect, but
I think I had both unprotected.
No, I did have both unprotected. Excuse me, the one I would target at the spot. I ended up going Bub just because I was like, you know what, maybe take a flyer. He's still young. So Matt is up at 4. So far I have my starting shooting guard, power forward, center. I feel like I could still wait a little while to get a point guard because I like a couple of these guys. I'm gonna build a weird team. Here.
That's
I'm
what
gonna go with
4.
I'm going to go with Keon Ellis.
Ooh, I like it.
I think Keon Ellis is so underrated. And, I can understand why he hasn't played a ton of minutes because I think he does do things that annoy coaches. And you can watch it sometimes, like when he'll have a defensive breakdown and they go to timeout and you see, like, a teammate yelling at him or a coach trying to calm down a teammate for being upset with him. But, I mean, he's just a plus-minus god, right? He's a turnover-creating god. He's a really, really good shooter. And he played guard in college, right? So he has some ball handling skills. And I just kind of like what I'm building, like a defensive identity around him, Aldama, Smart, and Cornette. And I like the kind of versatility that having Smart and Ellis can give me, right? I can run 3-guard lineups and not feel like I'm too small because Smart can play up and then Ellis is such a good turnover creator.
I really like Smart and Keon Ellis together, honestly. I mean, Keon's main weakness is he's not that great of an on-ball defender. Like you said, the breakdowns on the ball, just he doesn't have the greatest strength. He's so good forcing turnovers with his hands, getting deflections, jumping past lanes. And Smart is a great POA defender. So I actually really do like that.
And Keon Ellis also really good guard shot blocker. Really good guard shot blocker.
Yeah, just a very prolific playmaker, a good player overall. I'm cool with it. I like that pick quite a bit. I do like that pick. I think with my next pick, we're going to keep going to the defense physicality. I think anyways, I'm going to take Ryan Dunn of the Phoenix Suns. Did you have him unprotected?
I did, but you know who else I also had unprotected? I did not protect Jalen Green.
Neither did I, and I wasn't particularly interested.
I was going to take him with the first overall pick because just this guy's he's going to fill seats. And he's going to score some points.
Is that worth $36 million?
I don't know. You're right.
Anyways,
you probably don't. But they have to reach I know we're not going to do this because that would just be way too complicated.
Floor, yeah,
you do have to get to a salary floor, and I'm kind of worried for both of us, honestly, because we have way too many good contracts.
We'll throw some dollars. We'll throw a signing bonus at these guys. But yeah, Ryan Dunn, I mean, has kind of been squeezed out just because the Suns have so many forwards and bigs. They just have so many players in that area. But someone I still trust a whole lot as a defensive playmaker. I thought was one of the best wing defender prospects I'd watched in quite some time. Still only 23 years old. But just with, they traded for Bridges. They drafted Koa Pete. They have Rasheer Fleming. Oso Ighodaro is kind of forward-y as a big. They just have so many players that
You
could
protected
potentially
Rasheer Fleming, right?
Yes,
I
definitely.
love
I would
you.
have taken him. Yeah,
I love you so much.
I love you too. And yeah, I mean, I would have taken Rasheer. I mean, and again, I think I wanted to prioritize more recently, like more highly drafted players, right? So we're not going to let Rasheer go. But Dunn, like they also drafted Dunn decently highly a couple years ago. And I think he's just, one of these guys who's a reliable catch and shoot away. And, he's been okay. His first year was pretty high volume, turned it down a bit his second year, but still a really dynamic defensive player who I feel like can cover for some of the weaknesses of a guy like Bennett Sturtz.
That makes sense. Makes sense. For me, I think I'm going to pick the first kind of like guy who flirts with 20 points per game. I'm just going to take him. Okay, so I'm going to take him now because there's guys I value a little more highly than him and I think are going to factor more. Like, I don't think he'll be my fifth starter, but I know I can get these guys later on. So I'm just going to grab him, take the flyer, have somebody who's semi-box office, and I'll take Shaedon Sharpe. Did you protect Shaedon Sharpe?
I don't think I had him unprotected. Did I?
Did you
I
protect
did not have him unprotected, but I don't hate it.
Wait. Let's talk this one over. Who did you protect?
I had Drew, Sharpe, Kamara, Robert Williams, Denny, Klingon, and Scoot.
So you didn't protect Dame?
I don't know. I mean, he's like 36, hasn't played.
I get that, but I feel like they can't.
Maybe you're right that
they can't protect him.
That's fair. I'm willing to hear that, which is why, I'm willing to give you Shaedon Sharpe. I don't hate it.
Okay, because I just feel like I know. Okay, I just read an article on The Ringer. By the way, one of the best articles I think I've ever read in my entire life by Tyler Parker. It was just about like how it was like a satire basically on the Blazers' new owner, and he's like how to piss people off, blah blah blah. It's just like I know that like this guy is like actively trying to like ruin the NBA and the Portland Trail Blazers, which is one of the most fun franchises in NBA history. But I still feel like he would not cross that line, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's fair. I honestly didn't even think about that from that lens, but you're definitely, but I think you're probably right. It's like a save face kind of move there.
Dame's on a good deal. Dame's on a better contract than Shaedon, you could argue.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't hate it at all. Like I said, you took by far. I mean, him and Jalen Green were like by far the highest shot usage players. That were, I considered Sharpe here, so definitely makes sense to get it.
There's one more he's gonna find his way in there later on.
Yeah, there's some guys up there, but I do like Sharpe here for you. I think that's solid. Who am I going to take with my next pick? Man, I'm looking at all these point guards that I'm interested in, and I'm like, no, I can't take so many point guards. I'm going to go with, I think, a second true center here and take Ryan Kalkbrenner. Did you have him unprotected?
Let me see here. I think I ended up protecting him. Let me double check that. Let's go back. This Spotrac thing is awesome, by the way. Okay, so I protected, let's get the fingers out, Naz Reid, Kobe White, Konkenipple, Heinz Steinbeck, Christian Anderson. I did protect Ryan Kalkbrenner. Yeah, Brandon Miller, Ryan Kalkbrenner, and I protected Liam McNeely as well.
So not Grayson Allen.
No, I figured, he's old. You have so many young guys, you probably want to keep them all together. And then I kept, because I knew you wouldn't lose both Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal. You know what I mean? And they're kind of
that doesn't make sense.
So, but no, I'll hear out Kalkbrenner. I'll give you that.
You know
I'll
what?
grant you that for sure.
If you want, I'll just take Grayson Allen then.
You would rather have Grayson Allen than Ryan Kalkbrenner?
Not really. Hence why I took Kalkbrenner, but
No, take him. You gave me Sharpe. I'll give you Kalkbrenner.
All right. I mean, I think Grayson Allen is honestly like, it wouldn't shock me if he was like a 20-point plus scorer on an expansion team with how he's been playing offense lately. But I think Kalkbrenner is just like such a, and like you said, the Hornets have so many young players.
I mean, he was almost a 20-point per game scorer on a regular team. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah, it's not that much of a stretch.
I let Keon James unprotected, who I think is intriguing. Yeah. But yeah, I just think Kalkbrenner, like, he's only 25 years old, even though he's a second-year player. He's older rookie, but just has some really solid rim protection ability. 24 years old, sorry. He just like a very sturdy paint protector. Can finish around the rim, like nothing particularly special. but I just think there's a lot of utility next to, I think there's some potential to go double big with Mitchell Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm inspired by some of the like Indiana Fever 2 center, 3 guard lineups lately that have been absolutely killing. So I'm thinking of like a Bennett, Sturtz, Scotty, Pippen Jr., insert third guard I draft, 2 centers kind of vibe as a change up. Our coach is going to be very, creative, very willing to experiment, very willing to, get outside the box. And now we drafted our second Ryan off the board.
Who's your hypothetical coach in this? Just pick one. Unsigned coach right now.
Give me whatever OKC assistant I can get.
That's a cop out. I'll go.
Fine.
Give me Stan Van Gundy. Stan Van Gundy's the coach of the Las Vegas Volcanoes. Yeah,
that fits. That fits. He is a volcano.
Okay, so you got that. I'm gonna go ahead and take the guy I think is gonna be our starting point guard, our lead ball handler, and could honestly turn into the point guard of the future. Maybe give me Tyler Kolek.
Tyler Kolek. I had him unprotected as well. How could you not?
Yeah, I mean, his best skill is that he can spam pick and roll, and this team is in dire need of a guy who can spam pick and roll. And he was really effective last season in the minutes he got. I was kind of surprised when he fell out of the rotation. He was huge in that NBA Cup Finals game against San Antonio Spurs.
He's a rookie playing deep playoff minutes. I do get it that they traded for Jose Alvarado, who I also considered, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had him unprotected. I had him unprotected.
I protected him.
Anyways.
Did you protect Pacom Diate?
I didn't. I protected Diawara. Oh wait, no,
Yeah,
I did protect. I did protect Pacome, but I wouldn't.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's totally valid.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I also had Kolek unprotected, and thought about him as well. But I like it. I mean, like you said, I think he had a really interesting. Rookie year. And rookie year, then his second year this last year, like you said, just like a prolific pick and roll creator. And I do think something that's worth considering, like how just like having guys who can create easy shots for teammates. Like that's why I wanted Sturtz and to some extent Pippen Jr. so highly. It's a hard skill to find. And overall, I'm cool with it. I like that pick a decent bit for you.
I've got another southpaw I'll be taking.
Oh, southpaw you'll be taking. And who might that southpaw be? But anyways, on to my next pick here. Who should I take here? We're getting down. My options of players I really like quickly dwindling, which is something I kind of expected to encounter. I'm just going to go with another young player and take Bryce Sensabaugh of the Utah Jazz, who has kind of been like a cult figure in some circles for a long time, largely just because of how much of a bucket he is. He really is just like an unbelievable scorer. He doesn't have a ton of other valuable skills, but he is a legitimately excellent mid-range shot maker, has been for a long time, can obviously shoot the 3 as well, can put the ball on the floor a little bit. Extremely poor defender, has been for a long time, hasn't really played in a good defensive infrastructure. Doesn't bring a ton outside of shot making, but really high volume 3-point shooter on and off the ball, great free throw shooter who can draw some fouls, someone who I think you could really develop into a high level scoring option, which is something that I just don't really have on this team yet. And those are going to be hard to come by in a draft like this, but I'm cool with Sensabaugh as a bit of a flyer here to take off the bench, develop, surround with defensive players like Mitch and Dunn and Champagny.
Yeah, I like that. I ended up, my target there was Fee Mihalik, but Bryce Sensabaugh kind of could be like a smaller Keldon Johnson.
I also had Svi unprotected. Yeah, I had Svi unprotected as well and considered him. I also had Okogie, Jackson Hayes, and Cody Williams unprotected from the Jazz.
I protected Jackson Hayes.
I probably wasn't going to take him anyway, but
yeah, you mentioned shooting. I realized I don't have much of that really.
I
have
again. Crazy. These valuable skills are hard to come by.
Yeah, I don't have much of that. So let me grab Corey Kispert from the Atlanta Hawks. Yeah, I think he would be you had him unprotected, right?
I did have him unprotected.
Yeah,
very clearly unprotected, I think.
Yeah, it's just like that famous Supreme Court ruling about pornography. The thing speaks for itself. Or
Is
is
that
that?
a famous Supreme Court ruling?
No, that's not it. No, I'll know it when I see it. Is the famous part? The thing speaks for itself. Is I think it's ipsa re loquitur. It's a legal term. The thing
Sure.
speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Ipsa re loquitur. Absolutely. I think this pick absolutely speaks for itself. Like you said, you've got some shooters now. I mean, Kispert,
got,
Kolek, Sharpe, and Keon are on. Who is not a shooter on your team? Like I guess Cornette has been. A shooter
But
in
I
the
mean,
past, but he's
smart, not really a shooter. Aldama's like I feel like he's more of like a.
I think
he's
he's
okay.
a pretty legit shooter.
He's he's a high volume shooter, but like this is gonna be such a vibes thing to say right now because like I would say analytically he's a good shooter, right? Like I love his indicators and I love his shot form, but like, do I want Aldama taking a shot for me with the fate of the universe on the line?
I mean, when the rest of your team is expansion players, maybe you do.
I need a knockdown shooter. I need a knockdown shooter who I can run off of pin downs. And we're gonna run a lot of floppy with the Las Vegas volcanoes. So Corey Kispert's got to be ready for that.
Corey Kispert does have to be ready for that. I don't have like a true four is also just hard. I mean, they're hard to come by generally in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going to continue with my young player spam strategy and take a guy who I think could develop into that really useful, versatile four, and that is Noah Penda.
I hate you so much. I actually hate you so much right now. No, I you know it's my fault because I played too hard, and I was like, oh, he's not going to take Jace Richardson. He's not going to take Jace Richardson. He's not even thinking about Jace Richardson. But I forgot that Noah Penda was I ended up protecting him just because I'm like, oh, Orlando probably values him more. He played a little bit last season.
I'd be happy with either of them, to be clear.
Yeah. No, I wanted Jace Richardson so bad. That was going to be my favorite pick of the draft. I was going to take him right now. And then I was going to be like, you know what? Either Kolek or Jace Richardson has to be a star. So I hate you for that, Ben.
That's unfortunate. Anyways, Noah Penda, though, I mean, like you said, I mean, he has some really unique traits that he's listed on Data Baller. He's listed as like a 2, but he's like 6'8", 6'9", and I guess it makes sense. Everyone on the Magic gets pushed down because they don't have guards. Yeah, he was a really impactful. Really impactful secondary rim protection. Almost 4 deflections per 100, like active in the passing lanes, has the tools to develop into like a multi-position defender, and has always been like a really fun offensive player, connective passer, can dribble a little bit more than you'd probably expect for a guy of his role, but still just, has a lot of improving to do, can't really score. We aren't really asking him to score much on this team, to be fair. But yeah, sorry to burst your bubble, but Noah Penda is a Seattle Supersonic.
I have a question for you, Benjamin.
I have an answer for you, Matt.
Did you protect Anthony Simons?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I did not either. I protected Embiid, Brown, Maxey, VJ, Dean Wade, LeBron, Phylon, and did not protect Dembona. Did I? I did protect Dembona.
I protected Bona as my last
Yeah, I
guy.
protected Dembona. Yeah, I did. Okay. So I'm going to go with Anthony Simons since you took Jace Richardson from me. He's still young. He's 27 years old right now.
I was really hoping I could sneak Simons in
Yeah,
there,
no,
man.
I'm taking it. I'm taking him. And he's going to be – he'll probably be the day one starting point guard, right? I'll let him start as the starting point guard, and then Kolek will naturally evolve past him, hopefully, is the vision. But even if Kolek doesn't, he's really good insurance, right? Anthony Simons is a guy who I think he's a more proven scorer than anybody who's been picked so far. That's what I was kind of talking about earlier with Shaedon Sharpe and you said Jalen Green. So yeah, I'm really happy with getting Simons here, even though I would have much rather preferred Jace Richardson.
Yeah, Simons was exactly the guy I was kind of thinking of when we're talking about like the proven scorers here.
There's still one more. There's still one more who might go.
Is there? I don't know if I have them. Maybe I do. Or maybe I'm just not interested.
He's the most proven of all of them. Like in terms of like his reputation, like yeah, he clears all these guys.
Proven of all of them. Well, we'll see if he goes off the board at some point in this draft. And my options are very, very quickly dwindling.
Yeah, just to read off the teams that have not been nuked yet or pillaged or whatever you want to say. Bulls, Cavaliers, Pistons, Pacers, Heat, Bucks, Raptors, Nuggets, Warriors, Clippers, Lakers, Timberwolves, Pelicans, and the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, a lot of teams I'm not really trying to pluck from, to be perfectly honest. Honestly, I think at this point it's literally just going to be like getting interesting guys. I'm going to take my Los Angeles Clipper. Give me Baba Miller, second round pick of the Los Angeles Clippers this year. Did you have him unprotected?
No, but that's my target for the Clippers was Bradley Beal.
I forgot he was even on the team.
Yeah, no, he re-signed recently. Probably with some circumvention there because he got more than the veterans minimum despite playing 5 games last year, not being very good in any of those games.
There's no issues with the Clippers are an ethical organization, so we don't have to worry about this.
You're right. But no, I was thinking because in the beginning of this, you ruined my whole strategy by taking Mitchell Robinson first because I'm like, wow, we're doing this right now, right? And so I was like, Bradley Beal, he'd sell some tickets. He can get me some buckets, right?
True.
So go ahead with your Baba Miller rant. Sorry about that.
I just again, kind of very much like, oh, my light. Taking 2 swings at the Noah Penda thing, right? Where like he's this similar kind of vision. Baba's more of a big, I think Penda's more of a wing, but like kind of hybrid connective tissue offensive pieces who can really pass. Baba is, more of like a real big in some ways, but he's still, like, despite being 6'11", not a true big. He can dribble. He can initiate from the perimeter. I think he's a really great, like, perimeter switchable defender. So we've got a lot of, like, physical perimeter defensive pieces. So we can roll out a lineup of, like, Ryan Dunn, Noah Penda, Baba Miller, stick a bunch of defenders in your face and see what happens. But yeah, that is who I went with my pick.
Yeah. I'm just now realizing I don't have a backup center, a true backup center. Santi Aldama can play the 5, and there isn't really a good way to get one. So I guess we're just gonna.
I mean, you're just gonna have to take a vet or a swing on a young player.
I'm just gonna go half measure. I'm gonna go half measure here, and I'll take a culture guy. I mean, honestly, there's never been any reporting about being a high character guy, but I just kind of get the sense by the way he plays. Never heard anything bad about him. He's kind of taken on a bunch of different roles over the year. Never heard him complain. I'll go Jared Vanderbilt. High energy guy. He's going to go out there, give you everything he has. Can play the 4, can play the 5. In theory, play the 5, right? He can be a non-shooter. He can be the one non-shooter on the floor, I guess is what I mean. But I could see him working in some of these lineups. Again, good locker room guy. He's going to work hard.
I like it. He was a guy I considered as well for my Lakers pick. Had, just like a really, like, I think half measure is a good way to put it because, like, he is just, like, ultimately flawed in a lot of ways that will limit him generally on the offensive end. But he's an awesome defender, has always been. I agree with you. He gives off culture guy energy, 100%. Maybe just because he plays really hard. And he's just like it's easy to associate guys with like the crazy high running motor, but I like it. I think that's a really solid pick. I think it's a really solid pick for you. Would you mind reading off the list of unused teams again, please?
Yes, because that's exactly the most entertaining thing and what people love to listen to. The Chicago Bulls, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Detroit Pistons, the Indiana Pacers. Man, that division is not getting any love right now. The Miami Heat, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Toronto Raptors, the Denver Nuggets, the Golden State Warriors, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Sacramento Kings.
Look, I mean, this is a thinking person's exercise. So, it's a tough one. Dang, Marcus Sasser's not on the Timberwolves Timberwolves, not on the Pistons.
He's on the Mavericks. Definitely.
I know,
he would have been a great young guard to swing on.
I know. I was looking at him and I'm like, that's unfortunately not a pick I can make. And yeah, this is an extremely brutal kind of group of players here. Man, this is tough. This is real tough. Josh Minot is not on the Timberwolves anymore.
He's on the Brooklyn Nets.
He is in the Brooklyn Nets.
There is a guy on the Timberwolves that I think you would love.
A guy on the Timberwolves you think I would love?
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I don't know. You might be a little redundant of one of your guys, like a worse version of him. But sometimes redundancy is not a bad thing.
This is again truly just like rando flyer territory. I'm gonna take Bogoljub Markovic on the Bucks. Actually, maybe I'll save that for later. Are there any the interest? Actually, Okay, there isn't actually a little more interesting buck that I'm at least willing to take a flyer on. Oh my God, no, this is brutal.
Is it Usman Jang?
It is Usman Jang.
Okay, that's who
I'm
I
gonna
was
take Usman
targeting
Jang.
from this team. Okay, I'll cross him
I'm gonna
off.
take Usman Jang, who at least has some stuff as like a handling, creating wing, even if it's never come together like that, quite like that. And I'm at least interested enough to take a flyer there.
Good call there. I think I'm gonna take every version of like the 3-and-D guard that's available to me. That's my favorite archetype of player, just from like a aesthetic standpoint, like the Marcus Smarts, the Keon Ellises of the world, and the DeAnthony Meltons of the world. I'm going to take him from the Golden State Warriors. Did you have him unprotected?
I didn't have anybody. The Warriors had 8 players who were eligible, so I just protected all of them. I didn't know what to do with them.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
somebody they can't. I was oh yeah, they do. You're right, but I was just assuming they would have other guys by then that would.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine with
Okay.
that. I'm cool with that.
Okay, because I'm trying to think who else would they. I mean, Moses Moody means more to them. Kristaps means more. I guess Al Horford, but he might be retired by then. Yaxels means more. Guy Santos means more. Will Richard probably means more. I assume Steph
cool
Curry
with
would
that.
be under a
I'll accept
contract
that.
by then, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
yeah.
allow
So I'm gonna
that.
go. I'll go DeAnthony Melton. Again, I'm gonna have a smaller team, right? So I might as well get guys who can play up a little bit defensively, guard some tougher matchups. He's kind of a jack of all trades on offense. Had like a quietly good year last year for the Warriors when he was healthy. He's always been like a good plus minus player too.
He's a great player when he plays. I have zero doubt.
Yeah, we talked about him in the redraft. I mean, he like his peak is like up there with pretty much anybody from his class in the role player tier, you know?
Yeah, he's a very good player. I have no issues with this at all. Let me get on to my next pick here. I think I'm just going to go back to like the decent role player and take Kevin Huerter of the Detroit Pistons. So just a player who's fallen from grace a little bit over the last, couple years, but has been a useful not really D, just like a floor spacing wing. Still a relatively effective, off-ball movement threat. Can shoot off movement. Always has had that ability. Pretty solid passer on and off the ball when he gets the opportunity. Hasn't shot the ball particularly well from 3 since like his first year in Sacramento, really. So maybe we can get back to that, in Seattle, a new area for him. So I'll go with Kevin Huerter here for the Sacramento Kings, or for the from the Kings for the Seattle squad.
Ben, it's that time of the hour. Who did you protect from your precious Indiana Pacers?
Well, first I'll just ask, who do you want?
Who did you protect?
Who do you want?
I'm thinking Obi Toppin.
No, I think he's I think he's definitely protected.
Really?
I had Halliburton, Siakam, Zubats, Nembhard, Nesmith, Toppin, Furphy, and Ben Shepherd.
So you would leave Jarris Walker unprotected?
I think the Jarris thing has probably run its course. Yeah.
What about J Huff?
J Huff is unprotected.
So you'd give me J Huff?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I'll take him in a heartbeat, dude. Give me J Huff right now. I would have taken J Huff with like my 7th pick or 6th pick.
Take him.
Yeah.
Take him.
Give me J Huff, please.
Who was the guy you took in between Jang and J Huff? Or Vanderbilt and J Huff? Who'd you take last?
That's tough. Our brains are cooked, man. Jesus Christ.
So
oh, DeAnthony Melton.
Yeah. So talk about Huff for a second.
I mean, he has in theory, right, a skill set that's very, very hard to find, and that's the fact that he can shoot threes and block shots. Not super physical, not the best rebounder, not like a super, great like aerial artist, lob threat, whatever. Which is, now that I'm looking at it, going to be really an issue on our team. But I mean, he's a really high quality backup center to me, especially if you have like a starting center who can contrast him well, which Luke Cornette doesn't really contrast him that well, but we're going to be bad this year. So I think he's a pretty good option as a backup center.
For sure. We're running very, very low on options. I'm just gonna go with another center swing, which is gonna be Nate Biddle of the Toronto Raptors. He's on a two-way, really talented, like three and rim protection center who's just had a horrible injury history like throughout his college career, but is like certainly an NBA talent to me if he can stay healthy. And those are the kind of swings we're taking at this point in the draft.
I respect it. I was gonna target the descendant of the Jared Vanderbilt lineage, Andre Jackson Jr. there, who's now
I had
with the
him
Raptors.
on my short list. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So
What's your next pick? I believe your 12th pick. We're getting towards the end here.
Yeah. I mean, I can get one of the guards without losing the spot. So I'm gonna take. Let me get another like 3-and-D-esque guard here. Can I have Jalen Clark on my team?
Can you have Jalen? I think I protected him. Let me see what I did with him. I did protect him. Yeah.
You did, really? Let me see.
I had
Who are we? Okay,
Edwards,
let's go down the
LaMelo,
list.
Gobert, Jaden McDaniels, Io, Terrence Shannon Jr., Baron J, and Clark.
So you protected him over Isaiah Evans?
I think so. I think.
Okay.
I mean, like, I'd be cool with either of those, honestly. If you really feel strongly about Clark, you can have him.
No. It's fine. I'll pivot. And it's also, I mean, I don't need Clark, Melton, Smart, and Keon Ellis on my team. I was just kind of doing it for the bit there. So let's go back to the good old board here. What am I missing on this team? Do I have? Give me Emmanuel Sharpe.
Damn.
Is that the rookie? That was the only rookie I had.
Damn it.
Were you thinking? We can call ourselves even for that. I'll get another shooter, a little bit more athletic than Corey Kispert, a little bit higher of a ceiling maybe than Corey Kispert, right? So
That sucks, man. I wanted him.
young player.
That's how we know it's down to it when I'm pissed over you sniping Emmanuel Sharpe from me.
You know what will continue to amaze me though, Ben? What continues to amaze me is like how in sync our brains are. Like we did not communicate about this at all, other than like the rules and stuff. And you even offered to show me your board. And I'm like, no. Let's just see like how close we are. So it's just I love it, man. I love our synergy. I still hate you for what you did with the Jace Richardson thing because he was going to be like the center of the Volcanoes, and he was going to be our marketable star, and he's going to be the next Jalen Brunson. But it's whatever.
All right. Question for you. Did you have Trey Jones protected?
I believe I did. Let me go through my protections list.
Yeah,
for
I
the
did
Bulls.
too. I just wanted to see if I get away with it.
No, I did. Giddy, Powell, Claxton, Caleb Wilson, Trey Jones, Matas Buzelis, Asenge, and Dalen Swain.
Yeah,
Is that the
we had
same
all the
eight?
same
Okay.
ones.
Okay.
You know what? Screw it. I'm going to take a flyer on a guard who I like. I don't know if it's going to be good. Rob Dillingham, come home.
Yeah, he was the guy I was going to take a flyer on. I was like looking at him, and I'm like, I was looking at Patrick Williams for a second, and I'm like, I don't like the way that looks. Let's get some Rob Dillingham in there.
All right. You are up with your second or third to last pick?
Second to last, I believe. Wait, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, this is my third to last pick.
Third to last.
I'll go. Since you took a flyer on a guard, I'll take a flyer on a guard. The newest member of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Give me Trey Mann.
Totally fair. I had him unprotected as well. I had him unprotected as well.
Mm-hmm.
Trey is solid. I think there's something there with Trey, maybe.
There's some markability there too. I mean, he's got that like AI vibe to him. The long baggy shorts, like the crossover. What?
Oh, I thought you were talking about like artificial intelligence.
No, like Allen Iverson. No, that's Spencer
Now
Jones.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
All right, since you mentioned him, I'm gonna just take Isaiah Evans now.
Okay.
Who I did have unprotected, and I think was worth the first round pick in this last draft. Nuclear off ball shooter who improved in a lot of other areas. I have so many wings. Oh my god. Anyways, your second to last pick, Matt.
My second to last pick is going to be took Isaiah Evans from me. Oh man, I know I'm gonna get stuck with that guy. I knew he was gonna be the last pick in this draft when I had to unprotect him. But who did you protect from Miami?
They had like nobody to unprotect. Giannis, Bam, Wiggins, Portis, Jovic, Drew Smith, Ryan Conwell, and Pelle Larson.
So you left Myron Gardner.
I did.
So you would rather protect Portis than Myron Gardner? He showed some
they just
flashes last year.
I don't know. I mean, like I don't know at this point.
Give me him. Give me Myron Gardner. Why not?
Myron Gardner.
Look
What do
at
you
my
like
depth
about
chart.
Myron Gardner, Matt?
I mean, he's just a heat guy. He showed some flashes last year, like as like a little two-way, pesky scrapper kind of player. We need scrappers, right? We need young scrappers. That sells.
Young Scrappers sells. There we go. We're getting really down to it here. Man, this is brutal. With my last is this, I think this is my last pick, right?
Yes.
My last pick of the draft. I think we're gonna kind of, left me no option but to dip into the New Orleans Pelicans realm, which I don't like.
I mean, you're better off than I am. I
I
got
don't really
the worst
want-
possible option.
I don't really want anybody from this team particularly. So I'm thinking who's, I've always liked Carlo Matkovic. I think he's got a solid little stretch
protected
four skill set. You did?
Yeah, dude, I think he's a stud.
Who did you not have protected?
Let's go to this. I mean, so the person I was targeting there was going to be Jordan Hawkins, but I'm like,
Okay,
Sharpe.
I protected him, but I honestly wouldn't really be super mad about not leaving him protected.
Did you protect DeJounte Murray? That was one I kind of thought about for a second.
I
I'm like,
did.
yeah,
I think
Pelicans probably love
I think
him.
if I'm running the Pelicans, he's unprotected. But optically, I like we said at the top, I don't think it's realistic.
Dude, I think it's not even for the optics. I think they just think that guy's probably going to be an all-star next year. In that demented world over there that they have going
Can
on
I take
in New
Bryce
Orleans.
McGowan?
No, you can take Carlo Matkovic. I'm just saying I love him.
I'll take Carlo. Carlo Matkovic. All right, my team is finished. Matt, make your last pick.
I'm gonna have to take Zeke Naji here. Not too thrilled about this. He's not gonna get any minutes for us this season. I'm gonna have him on the trade block immediately. Looking to dump him for some salary.
All right.
I mean, for some
Good
picks.
stuff, Matt.
I'll attach picks. Excuse me. I'm willing as an expansion team to attach picks to get Zeke Naji off my team.
Hey, my phone line's always open, so just you can hit me and we can talk. But anyways, thank you so much everyone for listening. Let's run through these teams.
Wait. Yeah, Ben, how about we give the people what they want? Let's give them our depth chart. What's our depth chart looking like opening night?
So my opening night starting lineup, I think we're going to go a little normal, and then we're going to break out some funky stuff later on in the year, baby. We're going to start Bennett, Sturtz, and Scotty Pippen Jr. in the backcourt. Going to go with Justin Champagny at the 3, Ryan Dunn at the 4, Mitchell Robinson at the 5, with my primary bench options being Ryan Kalkbrenner, Bryce Sensabaugh, Noah Penda, Baba Miller. I think Huerter could get some minutes, and I'm probably going to give Rob Dillingham some of those backup point guard chances. But I'd imagine staggering Scotty Pippen Jr. and Bennett Sturtz a decent amount as well, since both of those guys can really handle and create. And maybe we do a lineup with Sturtz and a bunch of defensive players around him, or Pippen with Bryce Sensabaugh, with Kevin Huerter, Isaiah Evans out there, get a stretch big in Carlo Matkovic, Nate Biddle. I don't mind using the whole 15 here. See what we've got this season.
That's fair. I'll go. So Simons will be my starter day one, with the idea being Kolek eventually usurps him, right? I'll go with Smart, Shaedon, Sharpe to start things off as the 3. We're probably gonna tinker with that. Santi, Aldama, Luke Cornette as the 4 and 5, and then Tyler Kolek will be our 6th man. Keon Ellis will also be playing a lot of minutes off the bench. I think D'Anthony Melton, Corey Kispert will get some tick. And then Huff probably would be the 10 guys in my main rotation to start the season, with Jared Vanderbilt. Did I say Jared Vanderbilt's name?
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember. But yeah, so that's pretty much it.
So let us know down below who has the better team. Whose expansion draft squad are you taking? I don't know. I feel like this is pretty solid. 2 squads. I'm obviously taking my Seattle squad, but the Vegas Volcanoes, they're gonna put up a fight. They're gonna be pyroclastic, one might say.
Yeah, I feel like I have the guy who's got the best chance of being an all-star next season. On these,
Who?
I would say if anybody Maybe Sturtz by then. Maybe Sturtz has developed enough
Bryce
by then.
Sensabaugh
But
All-Star season incoming. All right.
you're right. You're right.
Anyways, I think that's going to be about it. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. Make sure to be on the lookout for more Bucket Talk content from us, more all things content, essentially sports, Twitter, Instagram. We do it all. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.